All right, folks, let's go ahead and make our first brush here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to Procreate, and we're just going to open up the gallery. Now, it doesn't matter what canvas you want to use. Just open up any old canvas. All right, we're going to create. Now, this one we are going to use pre-done shapes and textures. In later videos, we are going to make our own shapes and textures, but for this one, for this lettering brush, Procreate is more than adequate. All right, now to create a new brush category, I want to create a new brush category for everything we're going to do in this course. So I'm going to scroll down here until I hit the plus button. And let's call this Procreate Course Brushes. Okay, this is going to be your course brush area. All right, so Procreate Course Brushes. And now let's hit the plus sign in there. All right. Now we're going to make a very simple lettering brush. We're not going to make this terribly complicated. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start off by looking at the shape. I start all my brushes by finding the perfect shape. And for lettering brushes, the oval is a good choice. So let's edit. Let's hit import. And now let's go from what they call their source library. Now Procreate has a lot, of different shapes that you can choose from. I'll tell you, for my money, on lettering brushes, I like to work in ovals. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose this slim oval. And we're going to hit done. Don't forget to hit done or else this won't show up. Now, this gives us a nice brush preview of what this is going to look like. Now, that looks right now like hot garbage. So what we have to do, we have to taper it. I like my brushes to have a lot of taper so that as I do this, works out pretty well. Now that still looks like hot trash, right? So what we're going to have to do, we have to take the shape, and I want to go ahead and I want to flatten this thing out a little bit, and I want to rotate it for the way that I work. So now when I do this, that looks a lot cleaner. Now you see how it's still jittery? Stroke path. Remember, when it comes to lining, streamline is your friend, and turn your spacing down. I'm going to turn spacing to 0. All right. Yeah, look at that. We got some really solid, good calligraphy options with this now. You see how this is getting a lot better? Now, if you don't like this extreme calligraphy, because some people don't, you can always come back to shape, and we can edit. We can import from the source library, and you can go with the bigger oval if you want, right? Some people like it. I personally do. Some people don't. They like it more circular. So if everything is held there, I'm actually quite happy with that. Okay. So you've done your shape. Now, the last thing that I would say here, we can add to grain. We can edit. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of grain to it. Import. We're going to go from the source library. Why reinvent it if they've already done it? And I'm going to choose this rough charcoal, let's say. I really like the rough charcoal. And we're going to hit done. And we hit done. And now, as we work through this, we get a really good type of line on this. I'm actually quite happy with that. Now, the last thing that I'll probably do, I'll turn down the size a little bit on it, because I personally, when I letter, I don't like my sizes very tall. So that works for me. If you don't like that, you can certainly change your own. Apple Pencil, that kind of thing, I do like to fluctuate the size a little bit when I press. So if I've got more pressure on the iPad, I want to make sure that I've got different lines. You see how that works? So this is a really nice lining brush. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this in our other brush. Now to finish this, once I hit done, I'm going to come down to done, and now I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to rename it. Now, how am I going to do that there? Cancel. I want to come up to here. Come to about this brush, click on the title, and call this lining 1. All All right, and done. All right, lining one is in the books. Now, I see something I want to change on this. I'll take my taper up just a little bit more on it. And I want to come down to the dynamics. I want to change the size with the speed a little bit. And the last thing that I want to do, where is my properties? I want to go ahead and turn the minimum size down to maybe 10%. There we go. All right. I also use this as the basis for all my inking brushes as well. So if you like this one will be in your downloads for this course. I'm going to have more than this brush in there though, because this is a very simple one to do using pre-done shapes and grain. All right, we'll see you in the next one.